Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Hexakill. Hexakill is our new show where we're going to be talking to different people from the UKLC and the rest of the esports industry, and we're going to have two parts to this show. The part one is where we just have a chat with them and discuss a variety of things about their career, their life, and their passions. And part two is going to be a little quiz. So there's two parts to quizzes, there's 6 questions each, and if you answer all of the questions correctly, you're going to hear this.
Hexakill!
Okay, so without any further ado, let's watch the very first episode of Hexakill with Raisins, who is the support player for London Esports.
Hexakill!
Can you walk us through the UKLC qualifiers that happened the previous weekend? How was everything?
Okay, so the UKLC qualifiers that happened, we went in expecting to pretty much clean sweep the qualifiers. So, yeah, expectations here. Let's just start with that. Expectations were pretty damn high, um, and the format was best of ones up until so there was Saturday. We had 2 best of ones to play and then a best of 3. If we lost the second best of 1, if we won 2 best of ones in a row, we'd get through. So we played the first best of 1. It was against a relatively low level team. Went as expected. Second best of 1, we played against Viperio, I believe. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. But weirdly enough, I actually think it was exactly what our team needed. We needed a bit of like a kick in the ass, kind of like a wake up call, because um, I think there was a little bit of disrespect from us to the teams, things like that. So um, we didn't get our clean sheet, but we ended up losing that game, and then going into the best of 3 on Saturday, we 2-0'd the enemy team. I think they're called Degree Sports, so we ended up 2-0ing them, which was nice. But as sad as I am that we didn't get the clean sheet, I'm really, really glad we lost early in the tournament in the close qualifiers. And then going into Sunday, we had one best of 3 to play against Resolve. That was incredibly hype. So Resolve was pretty much the second favorites to play, and if you think about it too carefully, it maybe looks like we sacked one game to try and get Resolve, but we didn't. That was just us kind of getting overconfident. And I honestly think that us and Resolve should have been the ones to qualify, just on paper. So yeah, I apologize to Resolve, especially Dragdar. I think Dragdar really deserves UKLC, poor guy. But um, we were the better team on the day. I think they played okay, but you know, we ended up winning that best of 3 and we qualified. So
Yeah, how did the team cope with stress, especially after losing the game to Viperio?
so I mean, we have a performance coach, Watson. He's a really good asset for any team to have. Performance coach. We also have mature players. So if someone is feeling anxious about something, you can talk about it. You can figure it out. So after our loss, there was a lot more seriousness and there was less joking around. Obviously, we're not taking it that lighthearted. We kind of flick a switch. Everyone goes anime, hyperbolic time chamber, full try hard. you know, and then I think also for me personally, I don't feel pressure as much in these games, mainly because I've played enough that I don't care whether I win or lose. If that sounds a bit weird. I don't care that much about the win or loss. It's more about just getting myself into the zone. Like if I can get into the right mindset, then I'll play okay regardless. So that was what I was focused on. And for my teammates, they didn't sound that nervous. It was mainly just we got to do what we got to do. We can't just coast by anymore. We lost the game. Let's shape up.
Were the games any different from the scrim sessions you had before? Because I know you were doing really well in scrims. Did the team sort of did you learn anything before going into UKLC? Are there any changes you realized that you'll have to make that you didn't really realize from scrims? Anything you discovered?
Okay. So things from scrims that I took from into these games were we are as a team we are quite momentum based. It's very good to have the momentum. We're also a little bit of a slow starting team. I think it takes a little bit of time for everyone to wake up, have their coffee, get their brains in gear. But once we get going, it's pretty good. And our scrim results again, we're playing against pretty solid teams, and we're scrimming teams. No offense to the UKLC teams, they're still solid, but we're scrimming teams far above that level. So yeah, I mean, we went in thinking this is going to be a cakewalk, and I think every competitive team has one side they show in scrims, one side they show on stage. We ended up showing, I think, in the first few games that we did need a little bit of a kick in the ass on stage to show up. But once we get that, then we showed up pretty solid. I still think we've got a lot of rough edges, and in scrims, that's going to be where we're focused on for the next, well, actually, we're playing this Sunday, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see if we can iron out our rough edges in scrims.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it. Obviously, the dream scenario was to have a clean sweep and just win all the games, but that one loss might actually be a good thing for the team. Just a sort of like a little, not a wake up call necessarily, but something to stay focused and not to, exactly.
Yeah.
So the rosters for most of the UKLC teams are known by now. So how do you think London Esports will do? Because now we can actually discuss how you think London Esports will do in UKLC, because we are in the UKLC. So what do you think?
I still have a job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
God bless.
What do you think of the other rosters and the other teams?
So other rosters in the UKLC, I believe, I don't know who Envision has as of right now, so I'll leave them out. And I believe one other team, but all the other rosters, I do have a ranking. I kind of have in my brain a tier list. It's not even in my brain. It's on paper on an Excel spreadsheet. But I'm going to wait until all the teams release their rosters. But my expectation is that we're first, as expected. This roster was built to qualify to NLC, so anything less than first would be, in my mind, a disappointment. We have the talent to do it. We have the maturity to do it. We just need to do it. So I think... Hold on, let me quickly get... I've already forgotten the rosters. I need to... Let me double check. I wrote it down. I actually did a tier list as well. So I'm just going to... Okay, cool. Here we go. So I think from the teams in the UKLC, I think Munster's roster is pretty solid. I think they have some up-and-coming players that, from UKEL last split that I think could be potentially very good with the right guidance, with right coaching. I think Demise's roster looks pretty interesting. Could be a bit hit or miss depending on the mentality of that team. But I think they've got a pretty strong top side. Top jungle is very strong. Their AD carry is very good. So I think Demise could definitely be a really strong contender. As for the other three teams we know, Enclave, Bulldog, and M&M, I think M&M is definitely going to need to prove themselves. I don't think a lot of people are very... they'd be lying if they said M&M was going to be a top 3 team without, some improvement. But I think it's possible for them to get higher. I think Bulldog is going to struggle. I think we'll have to see whether or not Bulldog can actually face up against some of these rosters, because I think they're quite inexperienced. But yeah, I think definitely, in my mind, the top 3 is right now is London, Munster, and Demise. They're going to be fighting for the top 3, and we're going to come first naturally. So
Naturally, of course, yeah.
Naturally,
it's a no-brainer.
Of course, yeah.
Welcome to the questionnaire part of the show of the Hexakill. First part is 6 questions, hence Hexakill. If you answer all 6 questions correctly, you will hear the sound effect of Hexakill that we haven't heard in a very, very long time in League, but I managed to find it somewhere on YouTube. So, question number 1 is, when was League of Legends released? So, was it 2008, 2009, 2010, or 2011?
Okay, can I ask a question? Is it open beta or the official
release?
The official release. I think 2010.
2009.
Oh.
So close. So close. On the 27th of October, at least that's the result that Google gave me. So I really hope that it was the official release.
Yeah.
Question number 2. How many champions does League of Legends have right now? So A, 130, B, 142, C, 148, or D, 153?
153, I think.
It's option C, 148.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy moly, okay.
How many skins are in the Rift Hospital series? Option number 1, is it 2, 3, 5, or 6 skins?
Hospital series.
Rift Hospital, yeah. There is a series of skins called a Rift Hospital. And how many skins are in that series?
Is that like Surgeon Shen, Nurse Akali, like this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Or oh god, Kennen MD, Surgeon Shen, Nurse Akali, Doctor Mundo. Is there a Doctor Mundo? Am I tripping balls? Oh god. Okay, so that's minimum 4 for sure. How many? What was the options again?
The options were 2, 3, 5, or 6.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go. Okay, it's got to be 5 or 6. Last answer was C, so it can't be C again, right? Statistically speaking, I'm gonna go with 6. Let's go with D.
The correct answer is 3. So you have Nurse Akali, Surgeon Shen, Kennen MD. There's no Doctor Mundo.
Oh, there's no Doctor Mundo. Okay. God damn.
Question number 4. When was Twisted Tree Line removed from the game? Was it Season 7, Season 8, Season 9, or Season 10?
Ooh. Okay. I think it's Season 7. So I'd say A, Season 7.
Twisted Tree Line was removed in Season 9.
What?
No one really played that game, so I mean,
Yeah,
there were some
I
hardcore
literally
enthusiasts.
never played it.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it does seem like ages ago, but I mean,
I'm getting my ass kicked here.
after this season 9 does seem like it was ages ago, doesn't it?
It feels like 3 years ago. Yeah. Damn.
Question number 5. Which of the options is not an active ability that Baron Nashor can cast? So all of them are except one of them. So is it A, Acid Pool, B, Acid Shot, C, Tentacle Knockup, or D, Tentacle Smash? So which of these 4 options is not an ability that Baron Nashor can cast?
Okay, so I don't know if it's called Tentacle Knockup, but it sounds right. It knocks you up. The Acid Pool, it's like the 3 acid pools that go on the ground. Acid Shot, I'm pretty sure is just a passive ability that it applies whenever it hits you. So I'm gonna go with Acid Shot.
You want to hear all the options again?
Sure.
So the option A, Acid Pool.
Yeah.
Option B, Acid Shot.
Yeah.
Option C is Tentacle Knockup.
Right.
Option D is Tentacle Smash.
So Tentacle Smash feels like it could be. It's B or D. That's what I'm thinking. So I just don't know if it's a passive or an active ability. Acid Shot. I guess, is it an active ability when it attacks you?
One of these, the incorrect one, is the one that isn't by Nashor.
Isn't
is
active.
by another champion, a top laner.
Oh, yeah, I need help here. I'm so handicapped in this game, man. Okay, hold up. It's top laner. Oh, it's Alawi, Tentacle Smash. Yeah, okay, it's D.
It is.
You're
correct.
trying to really gently nudge me in the right direction there. Like, come on, bro.
Good. Here we go.
Oh, this obscure ass champion ability I need to remember.
So, question number 6. It has no options, but for you, it should be a fairly easy question. What is the name of Lucian's wife?
Senna.
Correct. Well done.
God bless.
God
I was about to get debated and be like, nope, Senna in the lore, as released 3 years ago, was
It's
ahead.
actually Tahm Kench.
Yeah, he divorced her after she died or something. Like, what?
You stream Tuesday to Saturday from 2 p.m. So how long have you been streaming, and are you enjoying it so far?
So I started streaming regularly beginning of May, consistently. I have been streaming for on and off for a very long time. You know, my Twitch channel has been around for a while. Even when I was playing in season 4 and 5, I was like streaming every now and then, but I never really put much effort into it. I think when I played on stream back then, I was kind of bad. I would play significantly worse on stream, and I didn't really have a good balance of like entertainment and gameplay. But you know, I've learned a couple of things about my gameplay, so I can stream a lot better and provide some commentary and actually play at a high level on my main account instead of having to go on Smurf accounts. But the streaming started in May consistently, and the 2 p.m. schedule started today. So definitely not a super long period of time, but the schedule I'm hoping to carry through as kind of like a consistent UKLC thing. So people before the UKLC, they could tune into my stream, or even just, you know, they wake up because we're on gamer time and everyone wakes up at midday. So they wake up, they have their breakfast, and they can watch my stream. And my goal with my stream was to be kind of educational. You know, I think personally there's not very many good support streamers out there who talk about their gameplay, and the professional players who stream support they don't talk about their gameplay. They just kind of meme and play with their duos. So my goal was to be a little bit more educational. I can answer some questions. I can try and be a bit more like informative about what I'm doing, and also to improve. I need to, I need to keep climbing. So
Yeah, one thing I definitely noticed while watching your streams is there's a clear difference between your streams and other streams in how much you speak and explain things and just walk through, your decisions and what's happening in the game. It's a really, really good resource for anyone who's interested in sort of learning support, which is, perfect for me because I really want to go back into League.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's a really, really good resource. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say keep streaming. So far, it's
Yeah,
good.
I will. It's going slowly. The snowball is starting very slowly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
In your stream description, it does say that you lived in Houston, Texas for 5 years. What made you come back?
So my dad works in oil, so we moved around quite a bit. I was born in Dubai. I lived there for 3 years, and then we moved to America for 5, and then Aberdeen, Scotland for. That was where I think my family, we all got a bit fed up of moving around, so we were like, okay. My dad was like, "Hey, I need to move again because of my company," and we were like, "Yeah, you go do that. We're gonna chill here." So so we stayed in Aberdeen. My dad ended up moving to Paris for a bit, and then back to America for a bit. So Aberdeen was like kind of the place I spent most of my childhood. But it was mainly due to my dad, and he would move around a bit. I actually think like looking back, it was probably one of the most exciting parts of my life. I didn't like it at the time that much because you're moving. It's just effort, but I think it gave me a really nice perspective on different cultures and different people and different countries. So it was good.
If having to choose between Paris and Aberdeen, and choosing Aberdeen, I have to respect that. Yeah, it's
I mean, it was
choice.
it was like okay, you could live in Paris and have a really nice time, but then you'd maybe have to learn French. And I was like in my last 3-4 years of school, and then on top of that, I was my brother was graduating and going to university, so we were like, okay, we're just gonna. It would be fun to go to Paris for sure, and it'd be exciting to try and learn French, but I probably didn't have the brain power to do that at the time because I was studying for my exams and stuff.
So speaking of universities, you did mechanical engineering at University of Scotland. How does that relate to League? How do you connect those two things? Angle calculations,
okay,
predictions.
I'm thinking really, really hard how I'm gonna spin my degree being useful here. Okay, so yeah, I studied at Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh. It's outside Edinburgh, and it's an engineering uni mainly. Focuses mainly on science and STEM. So first of all, the university was great. It's like a modern uni. The campus is really amazing, and like I had a really good 4 years. It was generally speaking like I was just interested in engineering from a young age, but the league, the mechanical engineering into league. So first of all, it made me a little more disciplined. Doing any degree, if you can get your degree, then it shows you're a little bit disciplined. You can sit down and put the work in if needed. It also, I mean, naturally, I worked a lot with numbers, so I guess you could maybe pull that into league. But I haven't actually done much with numbers relating to league, like. Analyst work would probably be the closest thing to my degree. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll become an analyst. Not saying I will, but definitely a lot of work with numbers was in my degree. But also, engineering degree it's a versatile degree, and I got a lot of networking, like contacts. I got a lot of friends who I can speak to about, they're working in different kinds of jobs. So it was just very useful as a general degree.
Did you play any esports while at uni, as in any university leagues, anything like that?
Yeah, so 1 year. I played 1 year of Newell, the National University Esports League. Played obviously for Heriot-Watt, and there was a gaming society. There wasn't a league society, but there was people who played in our esports society, and they played league. So I went there, and I kind of like scouted around, not just there, but in our uni for league players to try and make a Newell team. Um, with all due respect, there was not that many good league players in our uni. I don't know. It was just like not really that big a game in our uni. So I remember I was jungling and I hit master tier. I was a master tier player. We had a diamond 4 Malzahar one trick mid lane, a diamond 3 support thresh one trick, and then a plat 4 top laner and a plat 2 AD carry. So it was exciting because I had to figure out ways of winning games and learning to play competitive as like a leader. But we played in Newell, and I'm pretty sure Cambridge University was the number 1 Newell team at the time. There was a guy called Carniflexin who I remember playing against. He was their mid laner, and he was a master tier mid. He was really good. And I met a couple of teammates who I would eventually play with in Newell. So people like Jet. Jet played for, I can't remember what uni. Was it Warwick? I'm not sure. I ended up playing on a team with them later. So that's kind of cool. But Newell was really fun. It was chill. It was just kind of, intro to competitive, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I feel like Newell and NSC are really great sort of stepping stones for players who want to go into UK scene. I know that we have one player from my uni, from Roehampton, who's going to be also competing in UKLC after competing in some of the student tournaments. So
that's kind of cool.
It's a nice stepping stone. So last question for you is, I checked your OPGG and you have over 200 games on Fresh with a decent KDA. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
And after seeing your Fresh in the UKLC qualifiers, especially the kill steal, but kill secure in the mid lane, very very nice hook down there.
Thank you.
Any advice, any tips for anyone who's aspiring Fresh player?
Yeah, so it's very easy to play Thresh and just think the entire champ is in his hook, but he's probably the most versatile support by a pretty large margin. That's why nowadays, if you look at competitive, he's pretty much the only support most people are okay to blind pick. So as a support, don't try and only go for hooks. You're a much more versatile champ than that. You can play Lantern, so basically you can use your Lantern as an incredibly powerful disengage tool that allows your AD carry to step up like a monkey, and then you can pull him back. Your Flay has a ton of different uses. If you think about one ability having so many different uses, it's incredible that this champ was released in like season 3 or 4 or whatever it was. So your Flay can stop ridiculous amount of abilities in the game, so try and use your Flay to its max. Funnily enough, I think his ultimate is probably the most useless part of his kit, which is quite ironic, but if you use his 3 basic abilities in tandem correctly, he is one of the most all-round supports that you can find. And just there's, even when you think you've mastered him, there's always more stuff you can do with his abilities, so just try and be creative and think outside the box. Get it? I realized what I just did there. Yeah, that was completely unintentional.
Lovely. On that amazing pun, we'll leave it here. Thanks so much for joining us today for the Hexakill, and I'm sure we'll see you soon. Well, we're gonna see you on Sunday, aren't we, at UKLC?
Yep, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome to the second part of the Hexakill. These questions are more related to esports in general. There are some League of Legends questions, but more sort of focused on esports scene itself. Question number 1. How many European titles in League of Legends, so EU, LCS, or LEC now, does Fnatic have? Is it 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Oof. Okay. So EU, LEC, or LCS back in the day. Okay. Right. So Season 1, LCS, EU, LCS, Fnatic 1. Season 2, Fnatic 1. Season 3, Fnatic 1, I think. Season 4, Alliance 1, I think. So that's 3 so far, then 5 Fnatic. And then when did G2 come in? That's the important part. When did G2 come in? I think it was Season 6. When was Trick on G2? Shit. And can you say the options again? 5?
5, 6, 7, 8. It's the same number as G2.
Yeah, I think it's 7.
7 is correct. Hold on.
I got a question right. Let's go. It's so easy.
Question number 2. When was the first video game competition held? Options: 1972, 1996, 2000, or 2002. I'm not sure if you can call it an esports competition, so that's why it specifically says first video game competition.
I mean, Brood War was in the 90s. What could have been held in 1970s? Pac-Man? It's probably like...
The name of the game was Space War.
Space War?
It was held in Stanford University.
Okay, so 70s. I'd go with A then.
1972, that is correct.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Question number 3. What was the total prize pool for the International 2019, so the Dota 2 tournament? So
right.
Is it 20 million, 28, 34, or 40 million?
Oof. Okay, this one I'm gonna have to kind of guess. So I remember like in 2016 or 17, it was like 21 million. So I'm pretty sure it'll be higher than that because their compendium keeps growing. 28 seems kind of close, and then what was the other one? 30,
34, or the highest one is 40.
34, 40. That seems kind of insane. I don't think 40 million. I don't think I reached 40 million. Maybe I'm wrong here. I'm about to get flamed by Dota fans. Okay, I'm gonna go with 28.
The correct answer is 34 million.
Ah, close.
So
okay.
the official prize pool was 1.5 million, and then the rest of it was from battle passes, I believe, and that amassed to 34 million.
Wow.
When do you reckon UKLC will reach this prize pool?
In the year never, probably.
Probably, just around that. Yeah, just around that.
Yeah, a couple more years down the line. Yeah.
Question number 4. When was the legendary CS:GO map Dust 2 released? 1998, 2001, 2003, or 2006? And have you ever played CS:GO?
I have played CS:GO and I know Dust too, but this is a question I'm gonna have to guess again. So, okay, 1998 seems too early. That's like Quake. That's like Quake era. I don't feel like they would have released Dust 2 that early. 2003. What was the option? 1998,
2001, 2003, or 2006?
I think, in my opinion, it's 2001 or 3, but at this point, I'm just guessing. So I'm gonna say 2003.
It's 2001.
God, I'm so close every time. It's fine.
Question number 5. How many concurrent viewers watched the 2019 League of Legends World Champion Finals? So was it 10 million, 24, 26, or 44? So concurrent viewers for the finals. At least to the official numbers that Riot can have. I'm not sure how much we can trust all the data, because I'm sure it's tricky to get, but the number that Riot advertised.
Oh, pretty sure it was more than 10 million. So I'll remove that one. And then the other options were 24.
24, 26, or 44?
I feel like it was 44.
It was 44.
Yeah, okay. I have that number lodged in my brain somewhere. I was probably bragging about that to my family.
I remember mentioning it to my family as well, but I remember, like, when doing this quiz, I researched and I found 44, and I was just like, it can't be, it just seems impossibly large. It's ridiculous.
95% was probably Chinese people. Chinese
probably.
fans, probably. It's crazy though.
So question number 6 to get the Hexakill, if you did answer everything correctly. Where is Team Excel based? There's sort of 2 answers to it. One general answer, and one you'll get extra points if you can specify in which part of the town it is based.
Excel is based in London, in Twickenham Stadium.
Well done, congratulations. Extra points.
Easy one for me. I'm living in London, so if I didn't get that, then I'd be fired from London esports, you know?
Amazing. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Double kill. Quadra kill.